Now, as your evangelist friends will tell you, and as the media has been telling you up until now, weirdly, somehow they've suddenly changed tack. Milk floats are flying out to showrooms. Figures are going up exponentially. Growth is through the roof. There's nothing stopping them. Their world domination is almost imminent. And there's nothing you, Fatty, or any of your friends and your disciples can do about it. You snivelling piece of shit. Why don't you just crawl under your dinosaur rock and die? Or words to those effect. I mean, basically, if you look through the comments underneath all my stuff I post, those are kind of the sentiments you get from the evangelist. And aren't they very smug about it too? Every month the figures come out, and every month it's, oh, you won't report on those figures because they don't suit you. No, I can't report on the figures because they're boring and they don't actually do anything. They just stay the same. No, they don't. No, you'll find that it's going up month on month. Yeah, but by less than 1%, it doesn't really count, does it? However, our glorious government, the people that are there to serve us and make our lives better, somebody should tell them that at some point, because I don't think they know. They have deemed that they will offer £3,750 worth of discount off of a milk float should you wish to go and purchase one. They've done that out of the goodness of their hearts. They've done it so that more people can access this shit technology. But hang on a minute. About 100 yards up the road here, wasn't I just saying that they're flying out of showrooms, they're taking over the world, they sell more milk floats than anything else in the world, and the milk floats what everybody wants, and nobody wants an ICE vehicle anymore because they're dinosaur fuel, etc, etc. So why the fuck do we need to discount them then? The only reason for discounting them is that people aren't buying them. And if people aren't buying them, how are they taking over the world? Because they're not. Because it's all bollocks. What I've been saying all along. It's all just bollocks. But nevertheless, with great fanfare and beastliness of thought, it's been steamrollered in today that if you buy a milk float for £37,500 or less, you can have 10% off it. Now here's the first thing. Everyone's bandying around the 3,750 quid discount. It's not a discount of that. It's up to that. Up to. So it's 10% off. So if you buy a shit one for 20 grand, like the Dacia Spring, for example, which you can get for about 30p, it's now going to cost you 27p. But here's the issue with that. These discounts are going to be given to the dealer to pass on to you. Now here's the issue. The dealer is already, as I may have mentioned in one or two videos that I may have done, massively discounting these things to start off with. Massively. Oh, before we go into the discount thing, is the £37,000 threshold, is that RRP or is that after discount? Because those are two wildly different figures, as we well know. Because something for 50 grand could be there for 37. Does it qualify for the discount? Probably not. It'll be done on RRP. So it's only cars available for 37 grand or less, not cars that are available for 37 grand or less because they've already been discounted by 40%, because that's a different thing again. And you've got to make sure you know the difference. So basically, it's the crap ones at the bottom of the market that they're discounting to try and encourage the poor people who can't afford it because they don't have solar panels and a driveway. But look, if we give you some money, maybe you could go out and purchase one of these things, and then you could be a nice person like me. Except not a nice person like the Prime Minister, because he don't drive a milk float. He's got, and I've checked, he's got two Prime Ministerial vehicles that he uses. One is a supercharged V8 Range Rover Sentinel with armoured plating, and the other one is an Audi S8. Also a 5-litre V8 supercharged. That's what the Prime Minister's driving. those are the vehicles also used as ministerial cars by the Chancellor, who is also telling you to go and buy an electric car. They are also the ministerial vehicles used by the Foreign Secretary and the Home Secretary. Now, the Minister for Energy and Net Zero, Mr. Ed Millipede, he doesn't own a milk float either. He was going to buy one in 2020, but COVID came along, so because of that he didn't, and he hasn't got round to it yet 5 years later. The Transport Secretary, Heidi Alexander, weird bird, looks quite attractive in some photos, then absolutely rough in others. Just one of those strange women. I would imagine if you've seen her at 2 o'clock in a nightclub, you'd think, yeah, and then you'd wake up in the morning and think, yeah. But I digress. She was on the news on the weekend talking about her scheme, which is going to enable people that don't have driveways to put charging cables under the pavement and across and out into the road so that they can charge their milk floats in the road, which is a brilliant idea, except we live in fucking Britain, and to get your pavement dug up and get a cable put across it is A, going to be an absolute nightmare, because you're going to have to go through 3 different authorities to do it, and B, cost you a bastard fortune because you've got to get 3 different authorities to be able to do it. So by the time you've persuaded the council that you want to dig up your road, and you've got the planning permission for it, which of course you're going to have to pay for, and then you've persuaded the power company to put it in, and then you've persuaded the council or whoever their approved contractor is to come round, dig up the trench, get it in, get your safety zone done, put the cable in, tarmac it back over, brick paver it back over, depends on what your pavement is, and you've done all that just so you can have your milk float charging in the road. It would have been a lot cheaper not to buy a milk float in the first place. But don't worry about that, because they're going to discount the milk float. So this will counteract the fact that you've had to pay out to have your cable put underneath your pavement to get out to the road to charge your milk float. However, because it's going to the dealers, you don't know whether that discount is going to be applied on top of the discount they're already supplying, because they're already discounting them massively, or if, like I suspect, the dealer will pocket that 3,750 quid or the 10% equivalent of the price of the car that's for sale and keep it for himself, because he's been making a loss on these things for the past 12 months, and quite frankly he's sick to death of going to work every day trying to flog something that he fucking hates, that he knows is shit, but nevertheless you've got to flog him because that's what's happening at the moment, and he's doing that and it's destroying his very soul. He's cracking on with it, he's not making any money. All of a sudden the government go, we'll give you 3,750 quid for every 37 grand car you sell that's a milk float. Lovely. Now all that discount that I've chucked off just to get a sale, and I've only made 400 quid off the car, I can now make a bit extra. So you know all that discount isn't being passed on to the customer because they're already discounted, so they'll go. It's like the fucking DFS sale. It was on sale for 4 grand, that sofa, now it's 2 grand. And then after the sale, it'll go up to 3 grand and there'll be a grand off it and it'll be back down to 2 grand again. It's still the same price. The difference is that somebody else has took a bit out the middle. Right, anyway, where was I? So, the discounts are bollocks, the cars are bollocks, everything's bollocks, the government are bollocks, because none of them in the cabinet drive an electric car. They're telling you to drive an electric car, but they don't drive one themselves because they know they're shit. And if you think the government don't do things like that, simply cast your mind back. You don't have to go back that far. Just go back to 2020 when the government were telling you to stay indoors, not go and see your family, not go out, not breathe, not do anything, and whatever you do, don't attend the funeral of a loved one because you're all going to die at the funeral. Meanwhile, they're all having piss-ups in Downing Street every night and having a lovely time because it was all bollocks. One rule for them, one rule for you. Exactly the same thing with electric cars, no different. And do you know what the other thing that it's got in common with COVID is? Whose money is providing these discounts? I'll tell you, shall I? In case you haven't worked it out. Yours and mine. Not so much mine, I try to avoid paying tax. Yours, definitely, the taxpayer. That's who's footing the bill, not the government. The government said, oh, we're going to be generous. They're not being generous. Because it's not their money. It's your money they're spending. And they're going, right, we'll tell you what we'll do. We want you to buy a shit car for shit money. And to incentivise you to do that, we're going to give you some of your money back that you've given us to buy the car with. So it's not even a discount. Call it a tax rebate if you like, but it was your money in the first place. They took it off you so they could give it back to you and make it seem like that. Oh my God, it's Elaine Hamley again. We get to play the Elaine Hamley game. That's twice this week we've done that. Hamley! Oh, wonderful stuff. There we go. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so the worshipful government are that busy being good to you, they're going to let you buy a shit car with your money. I mean, how good are they? It's just amazing the generosity of them to be able to do this for their beloved people. To say to you, we're going to put your taxes up and we're going to take more money off you, but then we'll give it back to you to buy a car that you don't want because we're forcing the rules on you, and then we'll make you pay extra for the electric to charge that car up because we own all the electric companies as well. I mean, that's nearly 12 minutes and I haven't breathed once. But that had to be done and it had to be said. That is the state of the country we are living in, where you are being forced to buy something that the government don't want themselves, don't drive themselves, and won't spend their money on, but they'll make you spend your money on it, and they'll make it sound like they are the generous ones for giving you your money so you can spend your money on a car you don't want, that they don't want, that they won't drive and they won't have, but they'll make you have one. And they'll make you be grateful for it. And somehow, this gets reported on the news like it's a good thing. It is utterly batshit crazy. Beyond mental. And yet the stories keep coming out. And they go one after the other. And to be fair, when the Transport Secretary went on telly this weekend and said, I don't drive an EV, but you've got to, the old presenter had a go at her about it. Quite right. Oh, no, and then she did what all politicians do and change the subject and just go on about how she had provided £650 million of your money. That's your money as well. They didn't get it from a fucking money tree. That's your money. And she's going to give you your money so you can dig a hole in your pavement to put a cable underneath it so you can charge your milk float up that you've bought with your money. Again. And here's the crowning turd in the water pipe. And it seems to happen with everything, doesn't it? Everything that is net zero related has to be subsidised, because otherwise it doesn't work. Your windmills, your solar panels, your insulation, your milk floats, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's got anything to do with net zero, it's got to be subsidised, because otherwise it's completely unaffordable, it's uneconomic, it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't make any profit, and it simply doesn't fucking work. And yet, that is the future we're going down. And it's the only future apparently, because if we don't, we're going to have the heat wave like we've got today, where it's 20 degrees in July in Cornwall, because we've had our heat wave and it's over and done with, and we're back to dull grey weather and it's just a little bit warm. But apparently because of that we're all going to die, because the sun shone last week. Honestly, it's just bollocks. I think that might be my new catchphrase. It's just bollocks. Because let's face it, it is just bollocks. It's just bollocks. Right, t-shirts coming up with "It's just bollocks" written. There, I've decided it. It's my new catchphrase. It's just bollocks. I should finish it with "Future my arse," but I'm not going to. You know, I think, you know, when it comes to EVs, it certainly is future my arse. But when it comes to the state of the world, it's just bollocks.